If you take this, AI revolution, and I think we're living through a period of massive change, right? This is the biggest technological change since the Industrial Revolution, for sure. For political leaders today to understand that, to work out what the right policy is, to access the opportunities, mitigate the risks, regulate it, this is really difficult work. And so what happens a lot of the time is that people are elected on the basis they are change makers because they've articulated a general vision for change. But when you then come to, okay, what does that really mean in specific terms? That's where the hard work hasn't been done. And if you don't do that hard work and really dig deep, then what you end up with, as I say, are just their ambitions, and they just remain ambitions.
Okay, so now that you brought up AI, I want to ask about this. I do a lot of episodes on AI, and to the people who are in the industry, it seems plausible, though potentially unlikely, that in the next few years you could have, like a huge sort of July 1914 type moment. But for AI, there's a big crisis. Something major has happened in terms of misuse or a warning shot. Today's governments, given how they function, either in the West or how you see them function with the other leaders you advise, how well would they deal with this? Like, so they get this news about some AI that's escaped or some bioweapon that's been made because of AI. Would it immediately kick off a sort of a race dynamic from the West to China? Do they have the technical competence to deal with this? How would that shape out?
Right now, definitely not. And one of the things that we do as an institute, one of the reasons I'm here actually in Silicon Valley, is to try and bridge the gap between what I call the change makers and the policy makers. Because the policy makers, a lot of the time, just fear the change makers, and the change makers a lot of the time don't want really anything to do with the policy makers because they just think they get in the way. Okay, so you don't have a dialogue. But if what you're describing, Dwarkesh, were to happen, and by the way, I think it's possible at some point it does happen.
Yeah.
If it happened right now, I think political leaders wouldn't have they wouldn't know where to begin in solving that problem or what it might mean.